So just walking back from the school run, just dropped a little one off at his school, and then I'm going to drive up to Oxford, see a client. I've got a couple of days up in Oxford, so I'm just going to do a little vlog whilst I'm up there and coming back. I've got a few phone calls to make on the way up. Obviously rising costs is a massive thing for everyone at the moment, businesses and individuals, so it's taking a lot of pressure on people at the moment. So we're seeing that a lot. We're trying to help people navigate the storm, I guess. So I've got 3 or 4 phone calls actually to make on the way up to Oxford. So I've got to talk about some a gin business that I'm hopefully seeing tomorrow morning, and some stock finance about a client. So hopefully get some finance on secured on their stock. And then we've also got to talk about another client wants to secure some key members of staff. So I've talked about growth shares with him, and he thinks it's a good idea. So we're just going to talk to a solicitor this morning to just go through that. It's a very tax efficient and cash effective way to secure staff and for your business. And then we've got a potential new client to speak to about property in a limited company. So it's nearly home. Let's get on. Just done a quick trip to the chiropractor to click me back into position, and now I'm going to head on up to Oxford and catch up with some of these phone calls. Hey. So just arrived at the first client. I'm just going to check, go through the December year end, and go through the balance sheet with the internal accountant, and then got to sit down with the director and just go through the figures, just make sure he's happy with them, and think about the year end. It's a bit of a group as well, so we'll probably have to do some consolidated accounts as well. So about 4 hours in there, so just finished now, and sat down with the bookkeeper and gone through everything, got everything reconciled, which is good, hand it all back to Darius now, who can get the job all finished. So we sat down with the director as well, and had a chat with him, told me his plans for the new year, and like everyone else, struggling with costs and margins and staff. We had a bit of a chin wag about staff and just how difficult it is to recruit staff at the moment. Anyway, so quite a nice place this actually. So it's an old airfield with an industrial estate on the side. So we're just going to go, next stop is the local village pub where I'm staying tonight, which happens to also be owned by the same director as where I've just been. So we're going to go over there. I think I'll probably do my next vlog over there in a minute. So just arrived at tonight's accommodation. That's the pub. And I'm staying in there somewhere. So let's go and find Kenza, who's manager here, and hopefully get checked into my room. So just a very quick tour of the room, kitchen area, and bed area, and bathroom area. Nice little place actually. It's I've stayed here once before, but in a different room. And ignore the nice view of the van, but I'm sure the van will go at some point, and there'll be a view of the pub garden and the fields that are on the other side. Anyway, right, let's catch up on some emails now. So Kenza, who is the manager here, like I mentioned, so she's appeared on vlogs before actually, when she used to work at the Tusmore estate, so she knows me, and she had that cat in the bedroom as well, called Cat. I didn't know what its name was. So she's bought me a nice Christmas present, although it's in April, but she obviously knows me very well. The cycling puzzle book. So there's quite a few things in here actually. Like apparently there's a day of the week that you can rearrange letters and it spells something part of a bike. Haven't worked it out yet, but I'll get there. So I'm just going to walk over now and have some dinner and catch up with Kenza and Robert, who owns this as well. I've been told he on a Tuesday night he invites a lot of his older friends. I say older friends because he's older than me. His old friends along, and they have what they call a grumpy old man's Tuesday night, which I think is just an excuse for them to get have a few beers or a few red wines. But anyway, I've been invited to join them so we can have I don't know, a grumpy night, I guess. So see how we go. Anyway, so let's go. Grumpy old men. Back to my room. Night. Morning. Bit of a wet one this morning, but never mind. We're going to go for a run. Just wake myself up a little bit, and so we're going to nip down to the industrial estate where I was at yesterday, and I'm going to do a run around the airfield. I think it's about 4 miles. So just want to kind of wake me up before breakfast. So let's go. So I've made it to the park, but as you can see, there's a bit of construction going on with, and there's a notice that says no right of way. So I'm not entirely sure. Sod's law, I'll probably get about 3/4 of the way round, find there's a gate that I can't get through, and have to run, whatever, all the way back. But so anyway, let's go for it and see how we go. So the good news is I didn't make it 3/4 of the way round before noticing a sign. I actually made it halfway round. So I've come back, done a quick tour of the estate, just to round it up to 5k. But quite interesting actually, this estate. So I've been coming to this estate now since 2006. So I had a client in the anti-graffiti paint business, and they were looking to move their business onto industrial estate, and they were looking here. Bearing in mind I'm 110 miles from home at the moment, and then we picked up another client back in Bournemouth, and recommended to me by another client, and he said to me he's got a business partner, and their industrial estate, or they work, their business is on an industrial estate up here. It's called Warnell Park, and I said no way. I said that's exactly the same place the other client is looking to move to, and so coincidentally, so in the first year of BKB, we ended up with 2 clients on this same industrial estate, 110 miles from home, obviously, and it's grown. So doing a quick tour of the estate, just as I did, going back past some of the old industrial units that we used to act for, and I used to come here, and one of the clients was Naked Bars. So the Naked Bars that are sold in most supermarkets these days. So it'd be coming up here from day one, every quarter, to do their management accounts until they sold out to Lotus, the biscuit maker, and then obviously it got moved on to much bigger scales after that. So yeah, it's quite a nice story actually, the Naked Bars, because obviously we've been with them since they were small, right up to when they were turning over about 30 million. So good success story. So let's hope some of you guys can do that as well. Be good. Right, I need to go and have a drink, have a shower, have some breakfast, and crack on with the day. And by the way, happy new tax year. So the perfect runner's breakfast, egg benedicts. So time to leave the pub now and go on to see the first client of the day. It's got me thinking actually, obviously, because today is the start of the new tax year, and there's so many things coming at people at the moment with national insurance, fuel costs, wage costs, COVID absenteeism, staycationers going abroad, national insurance rises, dividend tax rises, national minimum wage increases. Just a lot coming at people at the moment, and this is a business here that's kind of going to see the brunt of it over the coming months. But I had a good chat with the owner this morning whilst over breakfast, and they got a good strong balance sheet, so they'll be fine here. But it does make you wonder how many businesses are going to go to the wall this year. So scary times, I think that's what they say. So on to the first client. So we're going to go and got some VAT reconciling to do. So just a bit tidying up, really, more on the bookkeeping front. So it's more a case of us on passing. So I thought I'll go and help out. And then we've got to go and see another client. So he's a contractor, but has kind of created, I can't be too specific about what he's done, but he's created a new product, which, so I'll find out from him how that's going, and a product launch as well, It's all in the fitness industry. And the client I saw yesterday, again in the fitness industry. So interesting to see how people's behaviour is changing, because obviously you couldn't go to gyms over the last couple of years, and obviously that's now coming back. So they've noticed a big increase in orders as well for gym equipment from gyms. So yeah, all good, interesting. It's going to be a very interesting year, really, isn't it, with all these costs and what have you. But everyone I speak to seems to be really busy as well, so which is encouraging. So anyway, right, I need to go and check out because time is ticking, and go and see first client. So just done a bit of bookkeeping, which is quite satisfying actually, to be honest. But that's, I guess, the accountant in me. So just going to get some lunch now, and then we're going to go on to the second client. Yeah, because my tummy's rumbling, and although breakfast was recent, I think it's a run. I always get so hungry after a run. Anyway, right, let's go and get some lunch. Right, so last client for today actually, and then we're going to head up to West Brom after this. So one of those where I haven't been here for a couple of years due to obviously COVID and the pandemic and stuff, and it's one of those where I'm turning up to the guy's house and you think, have I got the right house? I'm pretty sure I have, but I think he's changed his front door and it's really confused me. So anyway, we're about to find out. Fingers crossed, eh? So that proved quite a worthwhile meeting actually, to be honest, that one with the client. Firstly, got a new client as well, so his fiance was there, so we're just taking on her as the new client. Just leaflet dropping stuff, so and then he his new business, that little venture, that sideline that he's got going on, he needs a contact which I may have for him, so might better help him on that front, which is in the football industry, so fingers crossed. Right, so now I'm going to go over to Oxford train station and pick up a friend, and we are then going to go off to West Brom to watch West Brom v Bournemouth tonight, and then a long drive back this evening. So anyway, so the next bit of action will probably be at the Hawthorns. Hey, come on you cherries.
Bournemouth and West Bromwich Albion! We've got two teams as they line up tonight, starting with...
Well, finally made it back. It is 20-1. Not a great performance. Lost 2-0, 2 silly goals in the first 15 minutes, and no shots on target. So complete and utter waste of time. So hence nothing during the game, no vlogs or anything. So anyway, right, back now. I'm super tired, need to go to bed. I've got to be in Southampton for 9:30 tomorrow morning for a seminar on companies that are overdrawn Dutch loan accounts, can't afford Bounceback loans and that sort of thing. So quite a good seminar in the morning, looking forward to it. But signing off, end of vlog, need to go to bed, unpack my car. So after a late one last night, we're now off, or shall I say this morning, so it's, 8:30, so now we're going to drive up to Chilworth Manor in Southampton for this seminar. So. Right, so we've just arrived at the hotel for this seminar. Spoke to a couple of clients on the way here, both not complaining, but just saying how hard it is, costs going up. They're trying to resist putting their prices up, but they're kind of inevitable. It's going to have to happen, they think. So what I'm here for today So back in during the pandemic, there was a lot of COVID support to a lot of people, but there was also a lack of COVID support to also a lot of people. And we've seen a fair few instances where limited company clients, guys literally just couldn't pay the mortgage. They were offered no grants, no support. They've taken bounce-back loans and used those bounce-back loans to pay their mortgage. And we're now sitting in a situation where they don't have the profits to cover their drawings, and which gives them tax implications. And they can't afford to liquidate the company. They can't afford to pay the tax, and they're not making the profits to cover what they've drawn. So we're in this like catch-22. What do we do? I've spoken to 4 liquidators already. None of them can really give me any answers as to what's best to do. The seminar came up. I'm hoping that today I'm going to find out some answers as to what on earth we advise people to do. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's go on and head on in there, I think. So that was quite informative, actually. So I learnt that so if they've been committing fraud, then people have been taking bounce-back loans and then literally spending money on private funds and now can't afford to pay the bounce-back loans back, or the company's go into liquidation, then they could actually be looking for 9 months disqualification of being a director. They did say that only in absolutely exceptional circumstances would anyone actually go to prison. But those innocent cases, which is what I've got a lot of at the moment, where they've, obviously like I described earlier, used the bounce-back loans to pay for mortgage, drip-fed the money into their private bank account to do that because there was no other way of keeping the roof over their family. Those situations, then hopefully we should be able to just do nothing, is the advice. Submit the accounts, do nothing, and wait for HMRC to potentially wind the company up. But they shouldn't be looking to make anybody bankrupt, and they shouldn't be looking to make any discharges, so you can't therefore you could open up another company, which is good news, really. What they're saying is that what they want to do is the government would want statistics. They want to be able to show the media numbers. We've made this many people bankrupt for fraud, and it's the fraud part that they're focusing on, not the innocent I just needed to live. So it's quite encouraging, but nothing is certain, and this is their advice, not my advice. So yeah, we need to be still need to be careful, but at least it gives me some direction now as to what to say to people. Right, I'm going to finish this vlog now. I'm going to go back to the office. I've got a load of phone calls and emails and people to catch up with. I've got a fair few WhatsApp messages from the guys in the office as well. So let's get back to that. And yeah, so hope you've enjoyed watching this.